Champions League kandanda, UEFA Champions League. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another night / evening of action from the UEFA Champions League. It will be the Champions League watch along tonight, not the preview. So I know the games have already kicked off. Barcelona are already leading Atletico de Madrid by a goal to nil. Yeah, you'll indulge me. But it's a pleasure to be back with you on this beautiful Tuesday night, wherever it is that you will be joining us from. You know, Liverpool have sort of started on the front foot, but Atletico de Madrid trying to find that equalizer. What I mentioned about in the preview of this game was that they needed to avoid conceding that early goal, but they conceded it courtesy of Lamine Yamal. So it's 1-0 to Barcelona already. You'll allow me have our audios tested. Michael Matovos, hello, how are you doing, my brother? Good to have you on the broadcast. It's a UEFA Champions League night. So we're going to be following up on the updates from the respective games of the UEFA Champions League. For those of you that keep asking me to show you games, unfortunately, I'm unable to because I will be infringing on the copyright of those respective entities. So Stefan Morris says he's back. Hi, Stefan Morris. How is the Leyton Orient game? Has it even kicked off? How is it that side? How are you doing, brother? He does join us, I think, is it from the UK? Yes, from the UK. You said you're back from the UK, from Turkey. So how is that going? Okay, just trying to get a few things in order for us to get on with our watch along. I need to put a couple of things in place for a successful watch along in terms of the updates. Of course, one of my feeds will be a couple of minutes behind. Mansfield nil. Okay, it's still 0-0. Okay, that's good to know. You'll help us with the updates as we go through this watch along tonight. So yeah, basically, for those of you that are just joining us, welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. It's 13 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. and we are doing the watch along for those two UEFA Champions League games between Barcelona and Atletico de Madrid, as well as Liverpool against PSG, with Barcelona already leading their game by a goal to nil. That goal scored by Lamine Yamal is what is separating the two sides. Georgie Mamadashvili just had to save Liverpool. Almost run themselves into trouble a little bit there. Okay, yeah, Yamal in as early as the 4th minute. I remember in the build-up we did say that they must avoid conceding an early goal, either of those sides, because it would be detrimental to their aspirations tonight. But looks like at least Barcelona have nonetheless found a way. That's what they needed. In my preview, I mentioned that Barcelona needed to at least go into halftime leading by a goal to nil and then come and do it all over again in the second half. That will be the hope. That will be the aspiration that they do carry through that fixture. So I will be looking at the starting lineups for all the respective teams that are playing tonight. I've seen Barcelona have Joan Garcia in goal. They have Jules Koundé at right back. They have Joao Cancelo. They have Eric Garcia, and they have Gerard Martin, I think, in their backline. Then they have Pedri, Gavi, Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez, Lamine Yamal, and Ferran Torres. On the side of Atletico de Madrid, they have Joan Mosso, Molina, Robin Lee Nomad, Clement Lenglet, Matteo Ruggeri, Giuliano Simeone, Marcos Llorente, Koke, Ademola Lookman, Julian Alvarez, and Anton Griezmann. So that's how Barcelona have set up themselves tonight. Then also on the side of Liverpool, against PSG, that action is also going on at Anfield. Liverpool have Georgi Mamadashvili in goal, Milos Kakes and Jeremy Frimpong as the left and right backs respectively. Ibrahim Konate and Virgil van Dijk, Dominic Szoboszlai, Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, Hugo Ekitike, Alexis McAllister and Florian Wirtz, as well as Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. So it's a twin strike there for Liverpool in what appears to be a 4-4-2 system, with Liverpool putting Dominic Szoboszlai to the wing, but it might as well be a sort of a 4-3-1-2 kind of system, with Florian Wirtz slotting in behind the two strikers to try and be the creative spark there. Okay. Zien says, I'm from Turkey. Hi, Zien from Turkey. Good to have you on the chat. We are 17 in the league now, 4 points from relegation. Okay, Stefan, thank you so much for that comment. I also saw the one of Barcelona leading 1-0, and that of Lamine Yamal. Son of God, hi, Son of God. Why are you joining us from Son of God? Stefan Morris says, I'm half Turkish. Well, meet Zien there, and perhaps have a mini chat of your own in the comment section. I have no problem with that. In any case, I do encourage it. But guys, please like the broadcast, but also if it is your first time here, please consider subscribing to the channel and help support this community to continue to grow. Anyway, on the PSG side, they do have Matevi Safonov, William Pacho, Marquinhos, Nuno Mendes, Akraf Hakimi, Vitinha, Joao Neves, Warren Zaire-Emery, Kivicha Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Desile Doué. So that starting 11 is unchanged from the 11 that started over the other week. So you remember PSG did not play during the weekend. They were supposed to play up against RC Lens, but that game was postponed to give PSG a competitive advantage coming into this fixture tonight. So let's hope things will go according to their plans. But so far, so good. Okay, I don't really speak Turkish though. Okay, I understand. Son of God says Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us from Las Vegas. It's a pleasure to have you around. I think you're about the fourth or fifth person that has joined us on the channel from the USA. So kindly please consider subscribing to the channel, but also leave me a like on this particular broadcast. So how is Las Vegas? How is Nevada? What time is it there, by the way? Because for us, it's 18 minutes past the hour of 10 p.m. Guys, not 11 p.m. And I said 11 p.m. at some point because I'm accustomed to coming to you live at 11 p.m. But yeah, where are you from? I'm from Kampala, Uganda. Uganda is on the African continent. Sub-region of the continent is East Africa, small landlocked country neighbored by Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, DRC Congo, and Rwanda are the countries with which we share borders. Oh, it's 12:20. Is that? Yeah, okay. That's afternoon. So good afternoon to you and whoever else is, is out there joining us, and their timeline is afternoon. I know it's about what? 9 p.m. in German. It's about 8 p.m. in the UK and things like that. So, okay, I know where it is. I have a lot of friends in Kenya. Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful to know. Okay, Zien says 22:20. Yeah, Turkey and Uganda have the same time zone. So when it's 10 here, it's 10 the other side of Turkey. Yes, sorry for calling it Turkey. I know it's Turkey, but I know it just recently changed. So sometimes I forget and I call it Turkey, but it's Turkey. Thanks for the correction, Zien, there. Barcelona are really pushing for that second goal. It is still eluding them at the moment, but Atletico Madrid will need to be a bit more solid defensively if they are to keep their hopes of staying in the tie. Because the last thing they would want is concede the second and all the wasted energy of those players that missed their 2-1 loss against Sevilla be washed away. So it's always very very difficult, or it sort of makes it useless if you rested players to win you a certain game, and then you lose that game after losing the game in which or during which you rested those very players. So that's the kind of zone where Atletico de Madrid are in. Oh, Kivicha Kravaskelia, to an arriving Vitinha. Oh, Usman Dembele once again fires the blanks. He's just put his chance over the bar. Wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful um, attack. Kivicha Kravaskelia does all the hard work, floats in the ball to an arriving Joao Neves, a guy of very diminutive height, but the way he brings the ball down in his control, in his stride, is really, really impressive to watch. Hi, Pedri, how are you doing? I'm sure you're really, really enjoying the game thus far. You're excited that you got that early goal. How are you feeling? We can do it. Indeed, you can do it. So it's now one goal, and then you guys will put that game to parity, or you'll have been able to restore parity. Pedri, your fellow Barcelona fan in Stefan Morris is down there in the comment section, wishing you all the best. I'll be back at the end. All the best. Best of luck as you watch, as you enjoy that game. For us, we will stay on here for the watch along. This is the pressure point. This is the pressure point. Um, Leighton Orient and Barcelona are playing at the same time. So how are you managing that? I'm also watching two games at the same time. Sometimes during the round of 16, I had to watch three games at the same time. So do enjoy yourself, Stefan Morris, as you go through the emotions of keeping up to speed with both your teams that you support quite passionately, playing at the same time. I do not know whether there's one that is behind the other in the pecking order, um, you know, but if usually there is one that will steal your attention a little more. Those are my favorite teams. I completely understand. I completely understand. Oh, Kivicha Kvaratskhelia already giving Liverpool a bit of trouble. One of those very scintillating wingers. Oh, wow. Barcelona have a second goal. Barcelona have a second goal. I'm yet to watch it, but it has popped up on my notification bar. Oh, Jesus Christ. So seconds after Atletico de Madrid missed an opportunity on the other side to make it 1-1. Stefan Morris says, yeah, Ferran Torres, wow, what a night. What a night it's going to be at the Riyadh Air Stadium. Told you, by the way, whereas my prediction is a 2-1 victory for Barcelona tonight, I always said that they will know, Atletico Madrid, that 2-0 is not too big a deficit to overturn. Is not too big a deficit to overturn. They'll know that. Barcelona have overturned bigger deficits before. You remember back in 2017 when it was Neymar. Oh, ah, That was a sumptuous through pass. That was a sumptuous through pass. Hi, Pedri is back with us already. Farhan Torres, Mr. Tribe. We are back in it. Indeed, you're back in it. It's now all square. It's now all square. Back to square one. Back to where it all began. Parity has been restored. But wow, what a sumptuous pass that was for to find Ferran Torres. Line breaking pass. Typical Barcelona football. Typical Barcelona football. Oh my God, Fermin is bleeding. Oh, what happened? Pedri, update me because my feed is a couple of seconds or if not a whole minute behind, you know. Oh, that's just a beautiful through ball. Johan Mosso, I talked about him in the build-up, that whereas he's done fairly okay in recent times, ever since coming in for Jan Oblak, you do get sometimes there are things, there are moments that do happen, and he reminds you that it is not Jan Oblak in goal. So, you know, oh, oh, wow. Oh, he's bleeding so much. He's bleeding so much. That's a little too much. I think he makes contact with the goalkeeper. Was it? No. Oh, yeah, the goalkeeper. I think it's the fall through with his leg. Oh, that's a boot in the face. It does look nasty. Meanwhile, Hansi Flick was sort of agonizing on the other side for missing a golden opportunity because it was a big opportunity for Barcelona to go 3 up. But I'm sure upon reflecting, he will know that the Mr. Tribe, I knew we can do it. Hopefully, we turn it around. Looks like you're going to turn it around. Atletico de Madrid, and see, the reason as why I say any team that wants to go through, especially when you come in the reverse fixture, when you're a goal down or goes down, that early goal helps a great deal. Why? Because it sort of destabilizes the opponent's state of mind. It's like you know what they say about war, that any plan of war goes to bed as soon as the first bullet is fired. That's when they fire that first bullet, you can never predetermine what your response will be once that first bullet is fired, because you do not know who is being shot, in what direction it is come from. So basically, that's the thing about the first goal. It sort of, and for Barcelona in this particular case, the goal comes early through Lamine Yamal. It destabilizes Atletico de Madrid. Whatever a pep talk they would have had, I do not know whether they spoke about the composure and maintaining their own game plan despite going a goal down. You know, it has fairly not looked that way. And you can see Diego Simeone is already living the tension and the pressure of being on that touchline when you're playing a Barcelona. You know, that Ferran Torres goal was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful goal. I think it was Dani Olmo who played the through pass. Meanwhile, Liverpool and PSG is still goalless as we speak. Stefan Morris says Barca will win. Trust me, winning is one thing and going through is another. For example, if Barcelona win 2-1, it means they are out. If they win 4-2, it means sorry, if they win 4-3, it means they are out. Any result that leaves Atletico de Madrid with an extra goal margin means that they are Barcelona out. So yeah, it has to be quite spot on. And like I said, you remember the reverse fixture of the Copa del Rey at Camp Nou? That's the only difference. That this one is at the Riyadh Air Stadium, the other one was at Camp Nou, but the one that came by 3-0. So, and it was against the same opponent. So they really, really have a chance, you know. Okay, hope. Oh, okay. I hope I didn't miss out on um Fabian Lopez was still receiving treatment. That's why he didn't get any updates. Let's pray that he's okay. Oh, Barcelona may have had more attempts on goal than Atletico Madrid have had passes in Barcelona's box. Oh, yep. Atletico de Madrid have pulled one back. Jesus Christ. Come on. That's the beauty of football. And that's the other thing that Barcelona ought to avoid, conceding, or at least scoring what really conceding. Because every goal that Atletico de Madrid score, it means that Barcelona have to score twice that. The goal has been chopped. Is that the case? Has it been chopped? Ademola Lookman's goal, does it stand? It does appear a little bit like he had veered offside, but I think was he able to stay behind the ball? Because he has to stay behind the ball. Barcelona ought to avoid conceding, and you could see the celebration in that. Oh, he's onside. He was onside. Ademola Lookman. I think is that Marcos Llorente that does provide the assist. I think it is Marcos Llorente. Liverpool have a player down in Hugo Ekitike. He's not feeling that one. Yeah, Marcos Llorente is the assist provider. And you could see Diego Simeone on the touchline clench his fist, knowing the significance of that goal. He needs to keep it calm. Says, keep it calm, keep it calm. Let's not panic. Let's not go into panic mode, despite being 2-1 down. Oh, a stretcher has been brought out for Hugo Ekitike. It's not looking pretty. Stay calm. Yeah. Oh, Atletico Madrid, that's a huge mistake. You cannot be affording yards of space to Lamine Yamal to run into. Stefan says, no, not Ekitike. Oh, are you saying no, it's not him, or you're like, oh no, it shouldn't have been him of all people? They welcoming back one striker on one side and, losing one on the other. It's not good. It's not good. Barcelona have had Fermin Lopez return to the pitch. Mohamed Salah is a player warming up to come on. They can't stop Yamal. They can, because the trick to stopping Lamine Yamal, Newcastle were able to do it at St. James's Park, even for the first half at Camp Nou. The first thing you do not do is accommodating him to receive that ball in space, because once you allow him to receive that ball in space, he's always going to punish you, because he has the intricacy in his legs or the trickery to get past any defender. So you must cut out that. You must be sure to cut that out. You must be sure to cut that out. You ought to put yourself in a position that when he is receiving, as soon as he's receiving that ball, you're right out there with him. Either you're taking him out, or you're physically sort of bullying him, or if you're a bit late, you're going to try and clip him in a non-dangerous zone to make it uncomfortable for him. That's the only way you stop him. But every time you give him that yard of space, trust me, he has the talent to beat you. And now that Mohamed Salah has been introduced, I want to see how Liverpool then shape up. How are things going to turn around for Liverpool? But for me, I think for any manager, that will be how you stop Lamine Yamal. About 36 minutes are played in the Barcelona game. Liverpool, 33 minutes played, and still not much has changed. Don't give him space or you're cooked. Exactly. The moment you give him space, you're cooked. You're in for a very, very... Oh, wow. Wow. That was a block. That was quite a block in that Liverpool game by Marquinhos. Mo Salah, as soon as he came on, he had his first pass, which is a beautiful cross in the area. I think it was, I don't know if it was Milos Kakes that was lashing onto it, but Marquinhos put in quite a block. Guys, you'll forgive me. My feet are a couple of seconds behind because it's an internet feed. So, Primo Salah, yeah. But it's a beautiful cross. Oh, I think it was. Oh, no, the keeper saves initially from Milos Kakes, and then it's a rebound that Virgil van Dijk was trying to turn in that Marquinhos, blocked. Virgil van Dijk could hardly believe that one. From one defender to another, I'm sure Virgil van Dijk will appreciate that block from the PSG captain in Marquinhos. I'm really thinking of switching. I'm thinking of switching one of my game feeds because the other is becoming a little too slow for tests. Let me see. Okay. Yep. I think I'll have a better feed for the Liverpool game. Yep. 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 Uh-oh. Barcelona ought to be a bit careful here. Uh-oh. Liverpool need to defend really, really well and hope that when they go into the attack, they will be very effective with their chances. Otherwise, it may turn out to be a long night. My prediction, by the way, for the Liverpool PSG game was a 2-all draw. Long live the bot, the GOAT, you meant, I think. Yep. Long live Mohamed Salah. Ah. 0-0 at halftime for Leyton Orient against Mansfield. Okay, thank you so much for the update. Thank you, Stefan. I think I need to get AirPods. Who is going to give me AirPods? You're not missing out on much. Oh, looks like PSG are going to be forced into a change. Lucas Fernandez coming on for Nuno Mendes. The Portuguese left back is being forced off through what appears to be an injury. Not particularly sure what the cause of the issue is. Oh, come on. This French referee, who looks like Leandro Trossard, handling the Barcelona Atletico de Madrid game, is not giving away too much. Oh, one more so with the save to keep out. I don't know who it was. Need to have a closer look on that one. I think it was Ferran Torres. Mohamed Salah looking to conjure up something for Liverpool. Oh, well defended by Kivicha Kvaratskhelia, but he could not keep it out for a corner. That means Liverpool have to rely on a returning Alexander Isak from injury. Liverpool need to make the best of these set pieces. The delivery has to be spot on, as well as those latching on with the headers. You need to find, that's just a poor corner from Mohamed Salah. You have the height advantage of players like Virgil van Dijk. You ought to make it count. You cannot be floating in a very, very low corner kick. Atletico de Madrid are scrambling to defend inside their own box. Daniel Olmo went in the penalty area and went down in the penalty area, and Hansi Flick was trying to appeal for it for a penalty, but that was never going to be given as a penalty. In any case, it felt a bit soft. He goes down easily. Yes, there's a bit of a nudge on him by I think Koke, but he goes down quite easily. So still 2-1 in favor of Barcelona, but as things stand, Atletico Madrid will be going through as things stand. Virginia are testing Georgie Mamadashvili on the other side. I want Liverpool, Barcelona, and Leyton Orient to win tonight. Okay. I wish you the best of luck in your wishes. Anna Slot is vividly restless and relentless, trying to urge his team on to give him something to celebrate. He wants something to celebrate, but he's yet to find it. Oh, that was a loose pass from Mohamed Salah. He needed to have done better there. We are edging closer and closer to halftime in these respective fixtures. I think as scorelines stand, PSG would be the happier side, and on the other side, Atletico de Madrid would be the happier side. So far, by the end of tonight, trust that Diego Simeone will have lost a kg off of his weight. Hi, Adash. Good to have you back. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Wow. What a move. Beautiful pass from Vitinha. To try and find, I think he was trying to find, who is that? Akraf Hakimi tries to lace it back for Ousmane Dembele, but Ibrahim Konate was there with the block. Okay, at least I'm not on my own here. Indeed, you're not on your own. To be honest, Liverpool have defended well. They've just not done enough going forward. Georgie Mamadashvili is being tested moment after moment. I think for PSG, the most glorious opportunity fell to Ousmane Dembele, but he put it over the bar. Uh-oh. Oh, Mohamed Salah believes that he was dragged down. Julian Alvarez is yet to find his footing. Oh, that's offside. Adesley Doe trying to squeeze it in at the near post, but he could only find the side net. Oh, Admiral Lukman wanted to go to the far post. Mohamed Salah felt that he was fouled by William Pacho a few moments earlier on. We're into the stoppage minutes of the opening stanza. 4 minutes were added in either of each game. Ibrahim Konate so far looked really, really good. He's been very solid at the back. That first long ball is not yet falling in place for Liverpool the way they would have hoped. Alexis McAllister is being shown a yellow card for his untimely mistimed tackle on Joao Neves, the 20-year-old Portuguese midfielder. Jules Koundé testing Mosso at the tail end of the first half. Hi, Morris. What did you make of the opening 45 minutes? Oh, Ferran Torres received a beautiful ball but could not turn. He missed that. But yeah, it's halftime for Atletico de Madrid versus Barcelona. It's safe to say that Barcelona have been the better side. The two goals show it. They've had an XG of 1.66 compared to Atletico de Madrid's 0.92. They've had as many as 6 shots on target compared to Atletico de Madrid's only 1, 0 off target, 2 off target for Atletico de Madrid. Blocked shots have been 3 for Atletico de Madrid. Barcelona have dominated possession to the tune of 65%. So that clearly tells you. And they've had 3 corners or corner kicks in the opening half compared to Atletico de Madrid's only 1. So that tells you the Barcelona's dominancy in the opening 45 minutes. Goals are from Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres. Do separate the two sides, while the other was scored by Ademola Lookman for Atletico de Madrid, which gives them hope that this tie is still within their stride. So Ferran Torres provided the assist in the 4th minute for Lamine Yamal to score, while he turned goal scorer there moments later, in 20 minutes later, in the 24th minute, with Dani Olmo playing a sumptuous pass, a pinpoint pass for him to latch onto and score to make it 2-0 at the time. But Ademola Lookman's 31st minute goal put the game 3-2, back in Atletico de Madrid's favor, 3-2 on aggregate as we speak. For Liverpool, it's going into halftime, a 0-0. I think PSG will be the much happier side of the two teams. Why? Because again, PSG have had the most attempts on goal with as many as 3 compared to Liverpool's only 1. XG for Liverpool is 0.4 compared to PSG's 0.6. So that tells you why the game has looked 50-50. Possession-wise, PSG have edged it to the tune of 62% compared to Liverpool's 32%. But in terms of blocked shots, you've only had 1 for Liverpool and 3 for PSG. Shots off target have been 2 for either side. So, and then when it comes to corner kicks, it's been 3 for Liverpool and 2 for PSG. So it tells you it's fairly been a bit of a balanced game, and not so many clear-cut chances have been created. A very timely intervention from Marquinhos on Virgil van Dijk's attempt, ensured that the game stayed, 0-0 at the moment. So there's that as we speak. So that is what happened or transpired in the opening half of the games in as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. Okay, second half starts at Leyton Orient. Okay, wishing you the best of luck there, Stefan Morris, and thank you so much for the timely updates in regards to Leyton Orient, who play in League One. There, in the other games from the same competition, Bolton Wanderers are 3-0 up against Stevenage. When I look at Bolton Wanderers playing this side, I do remember that Bolton Wanderers of, I think, around 2007, 2008, during that period, who had players like Ivan Campo, players like JJ Okocha, it has Gary Speed, Faye, I think, Justin Kalainen, I think the goalkeeper, I think it was with Bolton at the time. So, I had Stevenage, so that's so good. Okay, but anyways, also in the championship, there's a game between Ipswich Town Ipswich Town are 2-0 behind against Portsmouth, while Southampton are leading 2-0 against Blackburn. So those games are also ongoing. But yeah, so far as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned, I do not think expectations have been met in as far as Liverpool's performance has been tonight. I do not think I don't think Liverpool fans will be too pleased with what they've seen thus far, you know. So more needs to be done for Liverpool in terms of creating chances. And that's the thing about PSG. They can equally frustrate you without looking too defensive or without looking like they're sitting back and digging in deep and, sort of defending. They collectively as a team, with their ball possession, with their counter press, that's how they manage to frustrate you. Before you know it, you're not getting enough chances. Now, the strategy that I've given, I mentioned that Liverpool need to use, I do not think they've used it quite often enough, but also, even in times when they've attempted it, they failed to make it look good. And that was when you invite PSG into the press, you need to go long, get that ball headed. The same way Manchester United apply themselves when their goalkeeper, Seny Lomans, goes long to try and find, let's say, Benjamin Sesko, a Brian Mbeumo, a Matthias Cunha, who then heads the ball back towards the closest player in terms of incoming 10 or midfielder or winger, and then they do a little bit of a holder play before surging onto the opponent's box. Stefan Morris says, remember when I said one of our best players had an ACL? Well, Stevenage was the team that did it. Okay. Rarely, by the way, anterior cruciate ligament injuries caused by opponent players. Very, very rarely. Oftentimes, based on what I've observed, players get those sorts of injuries almost in close to nothing kind of action. If you do remember, I think it's September 2024, when Rodrigo Cascante got his ACL. When you go back to that of Hector Bellerin, when you go back to that of Rob Holding, when you go back to that of Gabriel Jesus, I think Eder Militao and Thibaut Courtois in the same sort of spirit. Look at Rodrigo Goes' knee injury. The contract was quite minimal. He was out for nearly 2 years from that. Wow, that's very, very unfortunate. 2 years is too long a period of time. Look at how Man United played in the first half after sitting out for 23 days only. And it's not like it was 23 days without training. They were training, even had a mid-season break camp in Ireland. So, but yesterday, they were not good enough. They're not good enough. So it does happen. Unfortunately, it does happen that way, So basically, that's what I could make of the opening stanza for both sides. In terms of Atletico de Madrid and Barcelona, I think Barcelona will be really, really proud of their own halftime performance. The only letdown is them conceding that goal, but that was bound to happen with the way Barcelona play with that high line. Again, you can see it's counter-attacking football. The high line is sort of beaten with fullbacks almost being absent. So then they get punished. When there is only 3 games left of the season, okay, I understand. And that same player had a rib injury now, okay, and won't be back for 3 weeks. Wow. Sometimes players, and I don't know why, it happens very often with very, very brilliant players. They get those sort of injuries that eventually drag them out of their careers. Look at Jack Wilshere. He had to retire early because of injuries. Look at players like Vasilik Abdiaby, formerly at Arsenal. Look at players like Phil Jones, formerly at Manchester United. So you've had those sorts of things when it comes to players that have been forced out of the game with injuries, So look at Eden Hazard. When he joined Real Madrid, it sort of felt like it was injury after injury. He was never the same player, He's only 27. I completely understand. I think some of the best Italian players would have seen in this generation would have been Lorenzo Pellegrini, the AC Roma captain, and Nicole Zaniolo. He played for Roma. I think he went away to Turkey. I don't remember what club exactly, but also had a stint with Aston Villa. But they would have gone down as some of the best players of for Italy in this generation. But guess what? It never happened because of injuries. Because of injuries, simply because of injuries. Hi, Raymond Kangumba. Okay, you're back with the EDHAL requests. You know, I hope you're doing okay, Raymond. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some piece of glass nearly sliced my arm. That's why I kept quiet for a moment with my head bent on my table. So apologies on that. Oh no, welcome back. I understand why you're saying oh no as Stefan Morris. I know his comment is a bit monotonous, but we have to be accommodative. So yeah, it's very unfortunate, but again, you go back and remember. I think players like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you never got to see the best of him because of injuries. Naby Keita, formerly at Liverpool, and I think RB Leipzig. Uh, you know, you've had those kinds of things. Mm, I'm trying to remember. Look at John Stones. I think he would have been one of the best centre backs in the Premier League era in the last 10 years. But because of injuries, he's sort of had to struggle his way through his career. So injuries tend to do, people dirty. 59th minute. So, yeah, I think, was it Alan Smith, formerly at Manchester United, who went sort of down the same path when it came to injuries? I'm trying to remember a couple of more other players for whom injuries were an issue, you know. The players that suffer injury after injury. Stephen, oh, 15, okay. Stephen Nich got a red card. Oh, I completely understand. Meanwhile, at FC Bournemouth, it has been announced that Andon Iraola will be parting ways with FC Bournemouth at the end of the club, bringing his 3-year stint to an end. Currently, he's the most on-form manager with 12 games unbeaten in as far as the Premier League is concerned. So that news was revealed earlier on today. And according to some sources, AFC Bournemouth will be looking to a former Borussia Dortmund manager. Oh, his name is slipping away to be the replacement. Um, FC Bournemouth for beating Arsenal. Yep, that's the Premier League for you. Anybody can beat up against anybody. You remember when West Ham got their first win of the season? When Wolverhampton Wanderers, it was against West Ham by 3-0. Huge surprise. So yeah, former Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose, is one of the leading contenders to replace Andoni Iraola at AFC Bournemouth, but also Ipswich's Kian McKenna is among those managers that are being scouted or head coaches that are being scouted for the role. So Andoni Iraola will leave Bournemouth at the end of the season and will be exploring his exploits elsewhere. It does come at a time when he's been linked with a potential move to Newcastle, while also previously in the wake of the fact that Ernesto Valverde will be leaving Atletico Bilbao at the end of the season, he was also linked with a potential return to his former club, a club that he played for. I was happy when Wolves won that game because I also hate West Ham. Jesus Christ, how many teams do you hate, Stefan Morris? I hope you're not mixing the two terms between hate and dislike, because oftentimes we dislike things and then pass it for hate. Van Nistelrooy or Rooney? I think I'd go with Wayne Rooney. He was an all-round sort of player. He would play as a 9, he would play as a 10, you would drop him in an 8, and he would still give you, a good game. So I'd go with Wayne Rooney. He was quite a force. He was quite a force. So Anthony Raiola, 3 years. I mean, he's been tremendous. He's done tremendously well. Then Manchester United are also going to be in the search for um his Manchester United are also going to be in the market searching for a manager. So it's always it's always we are waiting to see the kind of decision Manchester United make. But also remember, what's his name? Oliver Glasner will also be leaving Crystal Palace at the end of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see how the managerial market does play out in the summer with with those guys, happening. And I thought, for one, if Michael Carrick does not get the Manchester United job, I think he's done well. He's done well enough for an audition to maybe qualify himself for the Crystal Palace job, for an FC Bournemouth job in case he wants to, challenge for it. I do not know whether it will be given to him. That remains to be seen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But with this interim spell that he's had at Manchester United, clearly his CV has gone up in one way or the other. His stock price has gone up in one way or the other. So the second stanzas are getting underway. The second half for Barcelona and Atletico Madrid is underway. Yep. So Andoni Iraola, I do not know whether he will be a critical consideration for those that will be searching for Manchester United is permanent manager, but you think that his 3-year stint at FC Bournemouth has sort of elevated his CV, that is going to be in conversations for clubs that are bigger than AFC Bournemouth. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Manchester United, if he ended up at Stevenage squad, but it doesn't affect us. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at Man United, or if he ended up at, let's say, I don't think moving from FC Bournemouth to go to Crystal Palace would be an upgrade, even though earlier on there were also reports suggesting that he could go to Crystal Palace, that are okay, not out of his preference, but at least there were reports that Crystal Palace are interested in his services. So we'll have to wait and see how things go in that regard. Let's see. Oh, the Liverpool game is also getting underway for the second half. So we are back in full steam action. If both games finish the way they went into halftime, then it will be Atletico Madrid going through, and on the other side it will be PSG going through. Cody Gakpo has been brought on for Liverpool. Excuse me. Oh, okay. I'm Leighton Orient till I die. Okay. Alexander Isak has been withdrawn for Cody Gakpo at halftime, while Jeremy Frimpong has paved the way for Joe Gomez. Are Liverpool going to go into a back three in the search for goals? But anyway, they have nothing to lose at this stage. They just have to give it their best go and hope it pays off. Steven losing to Bolton 4-1. Okay. Ferran Torres in a bit of an awkward landing. Oh, oh, that's a complete somersault. Is it Ferran Torres anyway? Frank De Jong, Robert Lewandowski among the players that are warming up. Sorry, let's see if there's been any halftime changes on that side. Oh, Cody Gakpo forcing Matevi Safonov into a brilliant save. He tried to go for the near post, but his shot wasn't strong enough. No halftime changes for Barcelona and Atletico. They're happy to stick to things the way they were. Mohamed Salah should be floating in better corners. Joe Gomez could not find the targets. You're not missing out on much. You're not missing out on much. Desle Doué is on the ground. He has that funny or unpleasant facial expression that would cause you to think that maybe it's not going to happen. He may not be able to continue. Let's wait and see. He had a bit of contact, bit of an extra push from Dominic Soboslai. Might have had his knees in landing. Luis Enrique giving new instructions to Kivicha Kravaskelia. It's raining at Anfield. Oh, Leighton Orient and Mansfield still goalless. Thank you so much, Stefan. For the updates, Desledoe is limping. And that's how easily injuries can pop up. So Bradley Bacola is going to be introduced. Sorry about the injury, Stephen. Desledoe forced off through injury. He walks with a bit of a slight limp. Oh. Ademola Lookman was close. It was a beautiful break from Julian Alvarez. Barcelona didn't have to just force him to turn back. But Ademola Lookman's attempt appears to take a brush off of the Barcelona player before it ends wide. We are bringing a new player on, okay. Mohamed Salah, beautiful interplay with Florian Wirtz. He overplayed that one. That touch was a little too heavy. Konate, good recovery, beautiful pass. Hi, Raymond. So now you want Andoni Iraola? Like I told you, Raymond, you need to zero down. You can't keep jumping from one option to another for as long as they seem available. You must be convinced with what you wish for Newcastle. What type of manager you want, what style of football do you want them to implement, and things like that. But for now, it does appear like you hop on from one to another. Today it's Xabi Alonso, tomorrow it's Xavi Hernandez, tomorrow it will be, today it's Andoni Iraola, tomorrow it's going to be Enzo Maresca, it will be Ada Huta. So Barcelona coming close to making it 3-1 tonight. Oh, it's a goal for Barcelona. It's 3-1. Ferran Torres, 3-1 and 3-3 on aggregate. Barcelona have restored parity for yet another time. Ferran Torres scored early in the first half and half scored early in the second half. Joan Mosso had just been forced into a brilliant save. They could not clear long away enough. Oh. Ferran Torres. It will be checked for offside, but I think it will stand. Oh, the goal appears to have been chopped. The goal appears to have been chopped for offside. Is it offside? There's a claim for a handball in the build-up. Yeah, goal is been ruled out for offside, so it won't stand. Let's go back. Let's go Barcelona lads. Well, they've been denied offside in the build-up to the goal. Barcelona have to fight once again. Meanwhile, Liverpool, Milos Kakes arriving at the back post, could not turn in Mohamed Salah's sumptuous pass. It was a beautiful pass. In at the back post, Flanvitz was in an offside position. He tried to, tap it. Oh, I think he was trying to pass it. They'll know that that was quite a chance that they should have made count. Liverpool, but didn't. Famin Lopez still has his bandages on. Get out VR. I know. Oh, come on. Yeah. Ferran Torres is in a clear offside position. There's no escaping that. I'd heard that Boa said it in no man's land. Liverpool have made it one-way traffic thus far in the second half. They're leading all the attacks, but that finishing touch and that final pass in the area is still not good enough to create the sort of impact that you'd want. It's still not good enough. Let me hope they do not get caught on the break, because they are all playing deep inside the PSG area. Beautiful cutback from Mohamed Salah. Liverpool are fighting for every ball, every 50-50. It's all been them. They've done it efficiently well. In terms of winning that ball back, they've done fairly well, but that ball is still eluding them. It's a missed opportunity, but it wouldn't have counted. Would have been offside, but PSG had gone on the quick counter. Ousmane Dembele involved, Kivicha Kvaratskhelia involved. So it remains goalless. Liverpool's passing accuracy is still very, very wanting, and it's all down to that final third ball. Oh, come on. Supposed to go for goal. Supposed to go for goal. Barcelona turning up the heat against Atletico de Madrid. Close though. Okay. Stefan says Leighton Orient hit the post. Okay. Close though. Stevenage are losing 5-1. Okay. Record Madrid will live to regret that. Starting to accommodate Lamine Yamal some space, it will come back to bite them. Liverpool need to, now we are offside, okay. Liverpool need to conjure up something really quick. It's not happening for them. Ryan Gravenberch's attempt was an easy collection for Matevi Safonov. Liverpool are planning to introduce Rion Gumoha as among the goal scorers on the weekend. He opened the scoring for Liverpool against Fulham before Mohamed Salah made it 2-0. Wow. Okay. How many offsides have I seen today? You'll see as many as the game can afford you. That's just the nature of the sport. You must time your runs to perfection. But remember, FIFA are also testing out that clear daylight offside rule. It is being tested in the Canadian Premier League. Oh, it's a penalty for Liverpool. It's a penalty for Liverpool. The referee is being swarmed by PSG players who are in disbelief. Oh, William Pacho, the culprit, he kicks in behind Alexis McAllister. McAllister sees him clearly coming in for the challenge, and he sort of puts his body in the way. And Marquinhos quick to protest that decision by the referee. I do not think VAR will intervene in that one. It doesn't appear to be a clear and obvious error by the referee. The thing about such penalties is that they never take into account what the other player had already in mind or in motion. So, for example, he's been summoned to the monitor to review the incident that is just given as a penalty. It's going to be shown the incident. Is he going to change his mind? Oftentimes, when they go to the monitor, they change their minds because the get shown may be something that they had not seen well enough. I don't know if sometimes they are influenced. Yeah, no penalty. Again, I was going to say, if you're William Pacho, you're already in motion to try and kick that ball away when Alexis McAllister puts his body in the way. McAllister went down easily, really. It wasn't even a kick in the back. Just two players coming together, and McAllister goes down easily. McAllister went down quite easily. So not a penalty. It's a correct decision. It's a correct decision to make, not a penalty. Liverpool will have to try another way. Liverpool will have to try another way. Liverpool are making some changes. Julian Alvarez, his cutback could not find the right option he was looking for. Gomoha has been brought on for Gomez. Gomez was the second half substitute for Jeremy Frimpong. But now he's been withdrawn. Marcus Rashford and Robert Lewandowski are players that are being brought on for Ferran Torres and Fermin Lopez. Juventus cross goes begging across the face of goal. What's up with PSG, Stefan? They need Rafinha. Unfortunately, no matter how much they need him, he's absent through injury. Sustained that hamstring injury while away on national team duty in the 2-1 defeat against France. Is a player down with blood gushing out of his face as a complaint for an elbow. It's an Atletico de Madrid player. McAllister said could only find the head of one of the stewards. That's too much blood. Gavi with the elbow. Dani Olmo strikes the ball, I think, in Koke. Where did Pedri go? So Pedri is still on. It's just not been very visible, but he's in there. Meanwhile, Ademola Lookman has been withdrawn for Nico Gonzalez, while Alex Baena has come in for Giuliano Simeone for Atletico de Madrid. They are also planning to introduce Alexander Soroth. And looks ugly. Ugly. He's playing well. He knows that he should have done better. Gavi is the suspect with the elbow on Matteo Ruggeri that caused him a bloodshed in his face. Meanwhile, Liverpool are still firing blanks. Problem is, Liverpool are trying to find that fine pass in the area. Ryan Gomoha with quite a serious attempt, but Matevi Safanov was there to save it. That's what they need to be doing. trying to strike that ball from outside the area or going in from distance. Otherwise, that sort of fine pass that they are looking for is still eluding them. Oh, Anna Slot could not believe that Riongo Moha's attempt did not hit the back of the net. The goalkeeper was there to save. But Liverpool have been much, much better, have been a much improved side in the second half. They've really, really given it a good go. They've fought for every ball. They've won the 50-50 challenges. And Riongo Moha. But also, while Liverpool have looked good going forward, PSG have defended really, really well. It's been block after block, interception after interception, deep in their own half and sometimes in the box area. Oh, it's a goal for PSG. It's 3-0 on aggregate and 1-0 tonight. And that was the worry, that Liverpool will overcome it and PSG will catch them on the counter-attack. And, you know, I think the tie is as good as done for Liverpool. They will know that they had a good fight, but sometimes good is not good enough. But Ousmane Dembele, at long last, with a goal in this tie, a player that is missed lots of chances. Looks like my two all draw prediction for this PSG Liverpool thing is not going to happen. Again, Ousmane Dembele doing the things that I've been asking of Liverpool to do, strike that ball from outside the area. Georgie Madashville, I think, sees it a little bit late. Meanwhile, Joan Garcia with a brilliant save on the other side to deny Atletico de Madrid, to keep them out. And that is what Liverpool have missed in Alson Ramsey-Baker. I don't know. I have this feeling maybe he would have saved that one. But you can never know. It's easier said than, okay, here they come. Liverpool again. Mohamed Salah. Oh. That is some brilliant save from Joan Garcia. Otherwise, by now it would be 2-2, and the tie would be as good as done. McAllister has been withdrawn for Curtis Jones. Meanwhile, Atletico de Madrid are missing chance after chance on the other side. They may come to regret that one. If Barcelona do score on the other end, it's a game that could possibly end up into extra time. Georgie Madashville was beaten, but somehow, wow. Ousmane Dembele had dribbled past Georgie Madashville, but Ibrahim Konate with the intervention to clear the lines. Alexander Soroth is being brought on for Antoine Griezmann, who will be leaving Atletico de Madrid at the end of the season to join Orlando City in the Major League Soccer in the summer. PSG 1, Liverpool 0, goal by Ousmane Dembele, while Atletico de Madrid and Barcelona are still 2-1 in favor of Barcelona. whereas Atletico de Madrid retained their lead 3-2 on aggregate score. So that is what is happening as we speak. With slightly under a quarter an hour left to play in both games. ah, we almost had that moment of last week. Is he offside? Ah, it's a tight call. It's a tight call. Ah. Diego Simeone is always going to make the most out of that. Arsenal always stop. Calvin. Hi, Calvin. Sorry, Kelvin, not Calvin. Hi, Kelvin. Good to have you back on the podcast. A potential card. It's a potential red card check. Looks like the linesman is being ruled uh, that it was not an offside. The referee had pulled out his yellow card. He was about to issue it. And the question is, does he deny a goal scoring opportunity for Alexander Soloth? You know, the referee is in contact with his VAR team to advise him. Oh, he's been sent to the monitor. And oftentimes, you know what that means? First of all, he's not offside. So Eric Garcia appears to impede Alexander Soloth. Yep, it's a red card. Eric Garcia this time around is this a culprit. Last week it was Pau Kubasi. This time around, not happy with himself, just took off his shirt and threw it in the tunnel. But that's a foul. He's the last man. Exactly what happened to Pau Kubasi last weekend. It's going to be a whole mountain to climb for Barcelona. Even if they were to restore parity in this one, they'll be playing against 10 men. Makes it even more difficult. Could we see another Julian Alvarez stunning free kick? He's not barring this one. No, he won't. He won't bury this one again. Oh, this time around, Joan Garcia was there to collect. Oh, PSG are starting to ask Liverpool questions. It's Liverpool that were asking questions for majority of the second half. Now it's PSG's turn. They're asking all the questions. For Hansi Flick, what do you do in this moment? Warren Zaire Emery being withdrawn for Lucas Beraldo. Matteo Ruggeri has been quite the performer tonight, despite being in bandages. I don't think there's a way back for Barcelona with that red card for Eric Garcia. 2 ties, 2 red cards. Happened to Monaco during the UEFA Champions League playoffs against PSG before PSG went in the round of 16. By the way, who did PSG knock out at the round of 16? I'm trying to remember. Liverpool knocked out Galatasaray. PSG knocked out Chelsea, yes. So it was at the playoffs, 2 red cards, 1 in either fixture for Monaco at that time. This time around, Barcelona have been the culprit. Frustration is starting to kick in for Barcelona because Atletico are going to, nibble them, sort of try and cause all those silly fouls to impede Barcelona, to try and kill any momentum that they may try to build. Don't forget about the chat. No, it's not forgotten. I see Leighton Orient full-time goalless against Mansfield. You mentioned the red card. Yeah, I've not forgotten the chat. Why would I can never forget the chat? Ibrahim Konate just got himself in the referee's book. You played cricket today. Wow. How many wickets did you amass? PSG are such a difficult team to beat. Such a difficult team to beat. Looks like Nico Gonzalez fires his attempt wide. Alexander Soloth is appealing for a handball. The referee will hold play just to have it checked. There'll be no penalty. Okay, you say I got 42 runs and bowled 1 out. Okay. You appear to be a man of many talents. have running on Thursday as well. Okay. We wish you the best of luck, Stefan, in all your endeavors. We are edging closer and closer to the finishing line of these games. Molina's attempt kept out by Joan Garcia twice. Atletico de Madrid have wanted to put this game to bed, but it's not happened for them. Oh, Milos Kakes with an attempt, but Matevi Safonov has been up to the challenge. There's a well struck ball just to the goalkeeper. Liverpool may be knocked out without scoring a goal. Can you speak Luganda? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. But I use English on this forum because majority of my followers, if not enthusiasts, are the daily suspects, the usual suspects, the semi-regulars, are not familiar with the language, but I do know the language. Thanks for asking, Adash. Barcelona bringing on Araujo. Koke also being withdrawn. Prime Uganda. John Cardoso returning from injury comes on for Koke. Oh, Wadley Bakola brought down in the area. Think it will be checked for potential penalty. Riongo Moha with another attempt. Riongo Moha is one of those Liverpool players that have tried to make things happen. Matevi Safonov came in and dethroned Lucas Chavelia, who was brought in as a replacement from Gianluigi Donnarumma, I think coming in from Lille. For me this week, I have cricket Tuesday running, Thursday and Friday Tuesday cricket running, Thursday and football on Friday. Okay. Adash, which is your favorite holiday destination? I've never left Uganda, so I don't think I even have a holiday destination. But Robert Lewandowski with a beautiful header, but more so was right up to the challenge. 8 minutes were added on in that Barcelona game. Really, 6 were added on for the Liverpool game. But I'd say I do have a couple of destinations on my bucket list. And trust me, Cape Town is one of those. Oh, South Africa, must I say? Oh, it's goal number 2 for PSG. It's tie over. There's no way back for Liverpool. They've been beaten hands down, home and away, and there's no recovering from that. Anna Slot knows it's all but done. It's been catastrophe. PSG have not needed to be good on the ball in the second half. They simply needed to defend well and then capitalize on their moments. No offside, beautiful ball. Ousmane Dembele scores to make it 2-0 there for PSG. And there's nothing Georgi Mamadashvili could do about that. Bradley Bakola with the assist, and I think it was Kivicha Kvaratskhelia with the pre-assist, and it's tie over. PSG just have a knack for beating English Premier League teams. Just have a knack for beating Premier League opponents. Quite the semi-final we are destined for, because it will be either between PSG and Real Madrid or between PSG and and Bayern Munich. Remember, Bayern Munich and PSG met in the group stage, in the league phase. And Bayern Munich won that contest by 2-1, despite going a man down with the sending off of Luis Diaz for a dangerous tackle on Akraf Hakimi. So at the time, that was earlier on in the season. Yeah, Bayern Munich beat Real Madrid by 2-1 in the first leg, but that tie is far from done. So basically, what we are having tonight is that PSG, a winner in the first leg, did a winning tonight, while Barcelona, a loser in the first leg, are winning tonight, despite the fact that it appears that they won't go through. Arsenal, unfortunately, beats Sporting. Yeah. So we could have a Sporting versus Atletico de Madrid, or Arsenal versus Atletico de Madrid for the semi-finals. Arsenal are looking to play their third consecutive semi-final. No, is it third consecutive? Second consecutive semi-final for the first time in their history. They will bottle it. Okay. Well, only time will tell. Time is everyone's best ally. Kivicha Kvaratskhelia, kept out by Milos Kakes with his attempts. Late drama. Apologies on the internet glitch. Oh, Joan Mosso read that one brilliantly well, and he came out for it. Anfield is already emptying gradually. Liverpool are 2-0 down. Both goals scored by Ousmane Dembele, a player that missed lots of chances in the first leg. This time around, he's been quite clinical. He also missed one in the first half. Barcelona still not giving up hope of restoring parity. Drankenspark is a good place to visit. Oh, I need to first Google that one. I need to first Google that one. It's unbeknown to me. The Liverpool tie is over. It's all but done. It's full-time score PSG 2, Liverpool 1, sorry, Liverpool nil at Anfield, and it's game over. Looks like Liverpool have been sent packing. Another Premier League team sent on their way. As things stand, it's only Arsenal that are left in the UEFA Champions League, the only Premier League team left in there. So we'll have to wait and see what they do in there. Is Barca out? Well, we are edging closer to that. Yeah, it's all over. Barcelona are out. Hard-fought victory. Perfect score prediction for me. For those of you that care to remember, we were here last night when Pedri asked for those predictions, and I said that Barcelona will win by 2-1, but will not go through. That was the prediction, and it has manifested. For Liverpool, I got it wrong. I'd gone for a 2-2 draw, but Liverpool have, I can't say been outclassed, but they've been outmaneuvered by a PSG team that were clinical in the second half with their few chances that they created in the second stanza, while Liverpool struggled to break through that disciplined defensive backline of PSG that literally cleared every ball, blocked every ball that came their way, and on the given number of occasions when they were breached, the goalkeeper Matevi Safanov was there to to sort of to rescue them, and so it's all over. The celebrations are on for Atletico de Madrid, celebrating advancing to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. I do not think they played a semi-final of the UEFA Champions League in the recent past. So, and I think they will fancy their chances going up against anybody that comes up in the coming weeks. Tomorrow they'll be waiting until tomorrow to find out who that opponent will be. Will it be Sporting CP? Will it be Arsenal? I remember saying when this draw was done, when we were having a chat about this UEFA Champions League, and saying Arsenal would rather face Atletico de Madrid than they would Barcelona, despite of Barcelona's inefficiencies. So we'll have to wait and see. By the way, Arsenal, I don't think I've ever knocked out Atletico de Madrid in a European competition. The two sides met in the 2017-2018 season in the UEFA Europa League, and Atletico de Madrid knocked out Arsenal. I think that was at the semi-finals. I stand to be corrected, but I think it was at the semi-finals, and then Atletico Madrid went all the way to the final and won that competition in 2018. So all my teams today either lost or drew. Yeah, basically that's it. Liverpool lost, Barcelona won, but they did not go through, and then Leighton Orient, shared the spoils in a goalless draw. So basically, that's what is transpired tonight. Atletico de Madrid won, Barcelona 2. It is 3-2 on aggregate in favor of Atletico de Madrid, who march on to the semi-finals. Barcelona had a very, very beautiful performance. In the second half, they were not as sharp. They did not create as many chances. They had a sort of a last minute chance of the game that fell to Ronald Araujo, but he was unable to convert it. So it never sort of it never counted for him. Otherwise, had that one gone in, would have been now into extra time of the tie between Barcelona and Atletico de Madrid. So, but again, Joan Mosso was there to make sure that that was, put out of the danger zone. So, like I said, Barcelona, beautiful first half, 2 early goals through Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres, but then they let themselves a bit down when they conceded that goal from Demola Lookman, which eventually has decided the tie. Arsenal will get to the semi and beat Atletico, then play Bayern Munich in the final for me, then Bayern Munich win the UEFA Champions League. That's Stefan Morris's prediction on the road to Budapest. That's his prediction that Arsenal will knock out a Sporting CP tomorrow, advance to the semi-finals, meet Atletico de Madrid, get the better of them over 2 legs, and then meet Bayern Munich in the finals. That means you suggest that Bayern Munich are going to knock out Real Madrid tomorrow, then they'll over both legs, they'll get the better of PSG, and then make it to the final in Budapest. What a final that would be if the stars were to align and you have a Bayern Munich versus Arsenal final. We know for a fact that Bayern Munich have the edge in terms of meeting Arsenal. They've beaten them more times than Arsenal have done it. Albeit this season, Arsenal managed to beat Bayern Munich by 3-1. So Prime Hurricane, exactly, would be a nightmare for that Arsenal side. We know his history when he faces Arsenal, dating back to the Premier League during his time at Tottenham Hotspur. He was quite a nightmare for them. So, but in that league phase game that Arsenal won by 3-1, they managed to sort of keep him quiet because that goal that turned out to be a mere consolation for Bayern Munich was scored by Leonard Karl, while the goals for Arsenal were scored, I think, by Juan Timber, then Noni Madueke, as well as Gabriel Martinelli. So that's to the best of my recollection. Hurricane started his career for Leyton Orient, but do not forget he came through the ranks of the Arsenal Academy. So, there's that as well. So, that's the results from the Wanda Metropolitano of the Riyadh Air Stadium. While away to Anfield, Liverpool lost by 2-0. Like I said, it was a case of PSG outmaneuvering Liverpool. They needed to defend really, really well. They needed to be very, very disciplined in terms of their defending, and they did that. In the end, Liverpool had an XG of 1.8 compared to PSG's 1.2. 5 shots on target for Liverpool and 6 for PSG. Then shots off target for Liverpool were as many as 9 and only 2 for PSG. 7 blocked shots for Liverpool and only 4 for PSG. Then Liverpool dominating possession overall to the tune of 53% compared to PSG's 47%. Then 8 corner kicks for Liverpool and only 2 for PSG. Like I said, Liverpool were much, much better in the second half. They just could not create those clear-cut chances that they needed to bury. They just could not find that final smooth ball. Yes, they tried on a few shots from distance, even though they did not do it as often as you'd have loved to see. But also, I think I would want to give the credit to Matevi Safonov. He was really, really absolutely brilliant on the night to deny Liverpool for every time they chanced themselves into breaking through that PSG backline. Then also, on the other side, you ought to give the credit or the plaudits to Ousmane Dembele, a player that a player that missed lots of chances in the first leg, as well as a brilliant chance in the first half, making good with Akivica Kvaratskhelia providing the assist and Bradley Barcola as he scored that second half burst in the 72nd minute and the first minute of stoppage time to win it 2-0 and 4-0 on aggregate for Paris Saint-Germain. So that means PSG and Atletico de Madrid march on to the semi-finals of this year's UEFA Champions League, waiting to find out between Arsenal and Sporting CP who will be coming through, between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, who will be the other two teams that make it to the semi-finals of this season's UEFA Champions League. With that sort of result that has gone Barcelona's way in terms of the 90 minutes, but overall aggregate not going through, I doubt that Pedri will be joining us for the remainder of this broadcast as he had promised. I know what it means to lose a game. It's the agony of defeat, and the sort of the emotions of a victory are all coming together on the same day, depending on what side of the aisle that you do fall on. As I've constantly said, that the thrill of the victory is there for those that have won the eventual ties, but the agony of defeat is also there for those that have been knocked out. Imagine PSG win again. Again, that's a possibility. I've never mentioned them as one of my favorites this campaign. Why? Again, I've never really felt convinced that there will be actual contenders, but now that they're in the semi-finals, indeed they are contenders. And the reason, again, even this season, they've had to sort of go through the competition because once again they came through the playoffs. But more importantly, historically, I do not remember a first-time winner in the era of the UEFA Champions League, forget the European Cup, in the era of the UEFA Champions League, winning it for the first time and then winning it back to back. I can give an example. Look at teams like Chelsea, who won it back in 2012. It took them how many years? More than 10 years to win it again in 2021. You look at, about 9 years, thereabout. Look at Manchester City. They won it in 2023. They've not been anywhere near it ever since then. Look at which other team there was the first winner. PSG are from last year, so we are yet to find out whether they will become the first team to defend it and really being first-time winners. So, that's it. I feel Bayern Munich or Arsenal now, okay. Well, baby steps. I think for any side that will win it, they'll need to first get themselves to the final. First of all, the semi-finals are going to be really difficult, regardless of what teams make it there. Whether it's Sporting CP at the expense of Arsenal, whether the reverse is true in that fixture, whether it's Bayern Munich at the expense of Real Madrid, or the reverse being true, there will be very difficult semi-finals because already you have two brilliant teams in the semi-finals. PSG looking the better side out of the two. Atletico de Madrid punching above their weight in as far as what their season has sort of looked like overall, because I had predicted that there would be title challengers in as far as the Spanish La Liga was concerned, but that has not been the case for them. I hope it's Bayern Munich though. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But if Bayern Munich were to win it, wow, what a moment it will be for Vincent Kompany. What a story it will be, He went from being the best manager when he got Burnley promoted in the 2022-2023 Premier League campaign, championship season with 101 points. Then he came in the Premier League and got Burnley relegated with only 20 points in the 2023-2024 campaign. Then he got signed to Bayern Munich, and in his debut campaign, which was 2024-2025, he won the league. And look at what he's going to do this season. He's on course to win it again. Of course, it's always not a huge surprise when a manager wins the German Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. So his biggest challenge is the UEFA Champions League. Olise would be Bundesliga, the Champions League, the World Cup, Ballon d'Or. Then maybe that would get him in the conversation for that. So because he's had a brilliant season, forgetting not the likes of Harry Kane, forgetting not Luis Diaz, they've all had brilliant seasons. So guys, it's been 2 hours. Thank you so much, Morris, for having Stefan Morris, for having been part of this particular broadcast. I wish to send my sincere vote of thanks to Adash as well for having been part of it. People like Pedri who chipped in. Your love and support does not go unnoticed. Zayen, thank you so much. Son of God, it was a pleasure to see you around. Michael Matovu, thank you so much for having managed to spare the time to be with us. So you'll allow me wrap it up here. It's been 2 hours of us doing this. Let's meet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to further digest the action that we've witnessed tonight, but also light our torch into those two other fixtures that will be coming tomorrow for to complete the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. And then on Thursday, of course, you'll also have the reverse fixtures from the quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa League as well as of the UEFA Conference League, where two Premier League teams are basically in Aston Villa, who beat up against Bologna in the first leg by 3-1, are really doing well. Then you had You had Crystal Palace beat up against Fiorentina by 3 goals to 0, and then Nottingham Forest, for it is still square against FC Porto because they shared the spoils in a 1-1 draw in that one. So there will be a lot more for us to come during the course of this week. Otherwise, stay blessed. Have yourselves a good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your respective time zones. I see you in tomorrow live for Madrid Bayern and Sporting and Arsenal. Well, yeah, we'll do the live again. However, I cannot guarantee that the live tomorrow will begin at 10 unless it happens the way it's happened for me to today. I can only hope that is the case. So really, 22:16 here, okay, here it is 00:16 hours. So 2 hours ahead of you. So for me, it's midnight. I'm already into Wednesday, the 15th of April. So tomorrow, if because today basically the stars aligned for me to be able to come at 10. So, but in case I can't come early, then we can start at halftime. So you are the same time as Taki. Yes, Stefan. All right. Thank you guys. Be blessed. Let me hope that those that have missed out on this broadcast because of the performances of your teams in terms of being knocked out will find the courage to join us tomorrow morning, as it is the nature of this sport. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So yeah, bye-bye for now. Stay blessed.